Another story. Well, Nigeria's former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, has asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to account for NNPC's $3.3 billion emergency crude repayment loan announced in August last year, a transaction which the Tinubu administration says will support the Naira and stabilize the foreign exchange market. Atiku made the demand in a post on X, posing several questions. His tweet reads in part: Tinubu's administration owes Nigerians an explanation for the NNPC $3.3 billion emergency loan. The curious thing about this transaction is that up till now, the federal government continues to keep mum about it. And the only information available to the public on the mega deal is coming only through unofficial sources from the NNPC. The deal is supposed to be a crude for cash loan arranged by the African Export-Import Bank. According to information available, a special purpose vehicle called Project Gazelle Funding Limited is driving the deal, and it was incorporated in the Bahamas. What is even more confounding about this deal is why the federal government would register a company in the Bahamas, knowing full well the recent scandal of the Paradise Papers that involved that country. Curiously, also, Nigeria's current barrels produced daily is 1.38 million. And according to the Project Gazelle deal, Nigeria is to supply 90,000 barrels of its daily production, starting from 2024 till it's up to 164.25 million barrels for the repayment of the loan. Now, this is where the details get disturbing, because Nigeria's benchmark for the scale of crude per barrel in 2024 is $77.96. A simple multiplication of that figure by 164.25 will give us a whopping $12 billion. It is on this note that we are calling on the federal government to speak up on this shady deal. It is inconceivable that the federal government will lead the country to take a loan of $3.3 billion with an interest rate that is not more than 12%, but with estimated repayment amount of $12 billion. That is a humongous differential of about $7 billion between what is in the details of the deal on paper and what indeed is the reality. We therefore demand, on behalf of the ordinary people of Nigeria, that the federal government provides answers to the following questions. 1. Has the federal government assessed the loan? 2. Is the loan in the government's borrowing plan as approved by the National Assembly? 3. Who are the parties to the loan and what specific roles are they expected to play? 4. What are the conditions to the loan, including tenor, repayment, terms, the collateral, and the interest rate? 5. And lastly, why register an SPV in the Bahamas, knowing the recent scandal of the country's notoriety for warehousing unclaimed assets? Dr. Abati, while I catch my breath, I have a lot of questions. My main question is really, this is to stabilize the Naira and get more effects in our reserves. But for me, I think that the questions that Atiku Abubakar has posed here are very, very germane to this deal. This was back in August, and we were very, very, very excited because we figured that this will help us stabilize the Naira. Look at what we are seeing here. I believe I was traveling last year, and I missed my flight. This was in Qatar, and I needed to buy another ticket, right? And I didn't have what do you call that currency again? I didn't have their currency. I only had dollars. And I was stranded. I needed to buy a new ticket with the dollars I had. They said, no, you cannot purchase this ticket with these dollars. What are you looking for, Dr. Abati? You're looking for Qatar money. Oh, you have it in my pocket. So that I get the name for you. I couldn't find it. So I was saying, how am I going to fly? My credit card wasn't working and I was stranded. So I had to, find a way to get bureau de change and change the money. The moral to my story is the dollarization of the economy, the Nigerian economy. We need to find a way to stop that nonsense. like you mentioned earlier, the CBN says that, you know, Naira is undervalued. I think that this whole deal, I don't know how it even helps in the first place. We need to hear answers.
Okay, we discussed this earlier on and said Waziri Atiku Abubakar, not just as a politician leading an opposition party, but also as a citizen, like every one of us, has a right to ask questions.
Yes.
And it's the responsibility of government to provide explanations. And some of those questions that he has raised, they are not questions that have been addressed in the frequently asked questions about this deal with Afrexim and the Gazelle SPV. These questions will still have to be addressed by the NNPC that is in charge of this. But however, after our discussion, just to show that people are already responding, the chief spokesperson of NNPC sent a message to my phone. He repeated some of the frequently asked questions about Project Gazelle. And then this is his conclusion. I can't read the whole thing. I'll just read part of it. He says Nigeria has over 35 billion barrels of proven reserves that are yet to be exploited. And these reserves can be used to raise the required funding, amongst other things, by utilizing a forward sale financing. This strategy helps securitize Nigeria's proven oil reserves. We can immediately improve the flow of foreign currency rather than waiting for years. Forward sale financing can significantly boost the availability of foreign currency for an oil gas dependent country by supporting more exports and bringing in overseas funding. This helps to improve the country's ability to pay for imports and manage its overall economy. And it goes on and on and on. And it says, in line with the provisions of the latest PIA and NNPC Limited's journey towards operational excellence and economic contribution, as a limited liability company, Project Gazelle balances immediate financial requirements with long-term stabilities. Further inquiries should be directed to Olufemi Shoneye, Chief Corporate Communications Officer, NNPC Limited.
Okay.
So you see, we got an immediate response, but they still have to respond to those specific questions.
All the questions. I thought it was important to highlight the questions one by one. Well, I'd like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. We're going to dance that song with those girls. How much is money? It's nothing. Dr. Abati, I don't want to see you anywhere this weekend. I'm just kidding, because you said you're
not my kind of
not your kind of party. Well, all right. I'd like to thank you guys, as always, for your contributions on What's Trending.